Hello everyone, I'm Vedaste. My Chinese name called Luzita. Currently, I'm the student of University of Rwanda College of Science and Technology Nyanza campus. Also, I'm the student of Confucius Institute. Nowadays, I'm a representative of other students who learn Chinese there in our campus. Today, I want to share with you my learning Chinese journal, which full of motivation. But first, let me mention this. Some people say Chinese is hard. But somehow I'm agree with you. It is not easy, but it doesn't mean it's possible to be known. Remember that every starting point in life, not only on language, is hard. But the more you keep work on it, the more things become easy. It's also the same on Chinese. Am I right? Just keep it. Yeah, in fact, after completing my high school in the end of 2017, I got the chance to continue my study in the University of Rwanda, where I'm learning Chinese now. But I didn't start learning Chinese at that time immediately after entering the university because of sufficient information about it. Also, I was not familiar with the benefit behind learning Chinese. After a few months, under my friend's inspiration, who was already the student of Chinese there in our campus, I remember exact date, 28 March 2018. I have attended my first Chinese class. This was an open door for me in a new world of communication. I remember exact. At that time, our teacher has started to show us how Chinese is. What important part in Chinese? Where there are pinyin, which contain initials, finals, there are tone, also there are character. Actually, I found that it is not easy language, and like English, where there is no tones, where there is no character appear. But I didn't quite. Before the end of our first class, our teacher has taught us one simple Chinese sentence called "wo ni," means I love you in English. It was so interesting for me. During returning home, in order to avoid forgetting, I have used that sentence to make a beat song. Wo ni, wo. No matter how I was pronouncing it, what was important for me at that time is that I'm in the way of Chinese. Exact. I can say this was my first achievement in my learning Chinese journal. Yeah, I think many of you know this Chinese proverb, 泼冷水 means any word or action that may disturb or discourage someone's happiness. The reason why I say this, I have met with those discouraging things. There are some friends who call me crazy man. You will never got the chance to talk to Chinese people. You will not get familiar with that complicated language. You will not be familiar with that Chinese character. Or I remember one friend who told me that, maybe you got Chinese girlfriend, that's why I started learning Chinese. Actually, it was not easy. But all this didn't put me down, because I was targeted to be fluent and effective in that language, whatever way. Also, I found that nothing's possible when you are attentive in what you are doing and motivated, like how our teacher treats us in different way. Like give us daily gift, did for us some Chinese story, teach us some Chinese song, which was so more helpful to develop our level day to day. As Chinese says, 1,000 miles starting with a single step. After we learned some initials, finals, tones, and some strokes, it was a good time to start to write some simple Chinese character like yi, r, ren, and so on. Also, I continue to work hard. Don't try to miss any Chinese class. Try to listen to some Chinese record and songs in my free time, even if at that time nothing I heard. But it was good, so good to develop my listening and pronunciation level. Under that effort, after only 9 months, I have passed the HSK3 with 2079 marks. It was good to give me another strength to continue learn Chinese. On the other hand, not only language I learned because of our previous teacher, Sue, who was good at different Chinese martial arts like Kung Fu, stick, Tai Chi. He taught us some techniques about it. That's why now I'm good to use sticks, Yong, Han, Shuo, Wen, as one Chinese traditional weapon. Also, I have used those different martial arts in the exhibition we hold as entertainment show. Also, I continue learn, read, listen, speak some different Chinese material. Under that, after again 1 year, I have passed the HSK4 with good marks. At that time, I was on good level where I can make some conversation with our Chinese teacher, where I can write some Chinese character which contain more than 25 or 30 strokes like Jingcha, Zaoga, and so on. But also at that time, I have started to help another newcomer student who willing to start learning Chinese there in our campus. So it gives me more inspiration to stand for our campus in this year's Chinese bridge competition held online. Also, I got good result, of course. But all this was not my designated point I was dreaming to be. That's why I didn't quite up to now where I'm preparing to sit for HSK5. Those I hope that, under working hard, and our teachers' support, I will pass it well. I recognize here some of you may start asking yourself what to continue giving a motivation to keep work up to now. See, maybe it's a good question. Also, answer is simple. Some people think that the Chinese is only the bridge to communication, but I found that Chinese is something which is really big. Chinese can be the bridge to create a relationship among peoples, among countries. It can be the bridge to expand your business. It can be a bridge to make your future look better. Why not? So, I'm sure that Chinese will be my good way in hunting job, in communication. Also, another important things. It is a good way to continue build everlasting relationship between our country, Rwanda, and China. Exact. Lastly, I can't go without saying more thanks to our lovely teacher, Ma Lao Shi, Gong Lao Shi, Su Lao Shi, Li Lao Shi, Tan Lao Shi, in general, all Confucius Institute teachers and its director. Your support is incomparable.